A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. We tend to try to keep things pretty PG-13 around here, but this is an improv podcast. So, who knows what we're going to say. Sometimes we throw in some swearing, some sexual content, and some violence. So, as a general warning, viewer discretion is advised. Also to be noted, the opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We love the game and we like talking about it. So, any criticisms are really just all in good fun. That being said, wizards, please hire us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
I love you, lady.
Oh my god,
Character
it's
development.
come full circle. It's been a whole character arc.
Character
And
arc.
I can't wait to see what next year's arc is. I hope he goes back to hating her.
Enemies to lovers to enemies.
Yeah, enemies to lovers to enemies. Oh.
To siblings.
That's weird.
It's just like domestic girlfriend.
No, it's like the plot in Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Gina and Charles.
Forgot about that.
Your father's going to marry an AI, and she's going to become your sister-in-law. No, stepsister. What the heck?
Oh,
My brain.
that's okay. Well, what are we gonna do for this episode's cold open?
I thought you had an idea, and I didn't think it involved talking about Domestic Girlfriend, because Levi just admitted to the internet that he watches Domestic Girlfriend.
I've watched 2 episodes of Domestic Girlfriend.
No, I don't think that's a good thing that we should cover on of cold open.
Despicable fart crash.
That's such an old video, man. That came out approximately.
It's been a couple weeks.
Ago?
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks.
It's about 4 weeks, yeah. A little bit less than 4 weeks.
They should watch our new video that's coming out around this time that's of the same game, Prop and Seek.
Yeah. And they should go look at Twitter at all of our 12 days of Pertuset Miss posts and like and retweet those.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you guys are so good at promotion.
And
Amazing.
our TikTok, where we're really funny sometimes.
Yeah, we're really funny on that.
You guys know that I put this stuff in at the end of the episode, right? Like there's a whole like and subscribe and follow our shit thing.
What if people don't get to the end of the episode today, Jordan?
Well, then that's their loss.
It is.
But the thing is that we set all that up this year.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
And that's what we're
Very
coming back to.
Very good.
Little Umineko reference. No one will know what it is.
I certainly don't.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome everybody to the last episode of Nat One Podcast for the year 2022. Oh, hey, we'll save that bit for another time.
although
on TikTok.
We are going on hiatus for the month of January, so you may think we went away forever, but nope. We're just taking a month off.
And you're going to be so sad, right? You're going to be so sad that we went away forever.
So sad, even though we're going to continue posting content for the entire month of January, it will just not be the podcast.
Correct.
Tell them that, Jordan, they have to be sad.
No.
If you want to see or hear from me and or Levi and maybe Jordan, but probably not during the month of January, come to the Nat One Plays Twitch channel.
I'm going to crash all of the streams.
We've been doing more stuff over there, yeah. We did a very recent stream that you can probably go find the VOD of. Well, now when the video comes out, it won't be recent. But
and you can't by then because Twitch deletes videos now or deletes VODs after 3 hours or 3 minutes or 3 days. What the heck? 3 days now.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
You
You gotta be quick on those.
But no, they delete VODs after 3 days. So
you wanted to watch this 3-hour stream? Too bad. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's like you get grandfathered and you have to click it before the 3 minutes is up, but you can watch the rest of the stream.
That'd be fun.
But if you exit that tab, you can't come back.
Yeah,
it's gone forever.
Deleted.
It's like an Amazon video rental.
Yeah.
which Amazon does on Twitch. So, but yeah, welcome to our final episode of the year. We're just going to be a little nostalgic, some nostalgic little fellas, little critters, and also some self-congratulatory little critters.
Yeah.
Woo!
Look at our numbers. We've
We
been
did
looking
this
at our
a
numbers.
whole year.
We've been
Yeah.
looking at our numbers all year. Yeah.
We sure did. And we've made some big moves, I think.
Yeah, we did pretty all right for a first year project on YouTube, I
Mhm.
think.
Mhm.
And everything.
And everything.
And everything.
Yeah.
We'll get into the numbers in just a minute here, but you know, we didn't like make a video and become famous and immediately get 1,000 subscribers. But I think the progress we had was slow and incremental and nice, especially given that we didn't like we at no point did we like lean on a sponsor of some sort or the fame of someone else that we would have known maybe.
Mhm.
We this is hard from the earth pulled up weed kind of
Tomatoes.
Or
YouTube.
weeds.
Yeah. Yes.
I prefer pumpkins.
Potatoes.
Pumpkins or mint, because mint can technically be used for bioterrorism.
That makes sense. That's why there must be so much of it in Genshin. Yeah, I like our progress. Speaking of which, like we got all of our progress. We've been looking at it for like since mostly like day one-ish. We've been looking at our analytics and stuff.
Yes.
And we talk about it all the time. We've decided for this last one, we're gonna peel back the curtain a little bit at first, talk about some of our numbers, and then later in the episode we'll get more emotional and nostalgic, and you can watch us cry. Probably not, but we'll cry definitely.
Yeah.
If you don't like the numbers, editing Jordan put a time card for when the like nostalgia stuff starts.
Yeah.
I'll put a ding sound effect for it. Ready, editing Jordan? Ding. There it is.
Thanks. That's so helpful.
It'll show up in the sound wave.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll jump right into it then with our YouTube analytics. So over the course of this year, we at the Nat One Podcast have gotten collectively around 21,000 views.
Wow.
A lot of which we pulled in the second half of the year, and very recently, actually, within like the last 3 months, because we started doing things like shorts.
Thank you, Taryn.
Yes, big props to Taryn, a regular guest on the Nat One Podcast, featured in our Nat One Plays gaming videos, creator of the iconic Despicable Fart Crash. Taryn pretty much was like, yeah, you guys need to do YouTube Shorts. It'll be really good for you. And he was right, because we've got like probably a collective of maybe 10 to 12,000 views alone from YouTube Shorts.
And that's where a lot of our subscribers found us, I'm pretty sure. So thank you for subscribing and judging us off of a 1-minute video.
Yes.
We hope that we hold up to whatever expectations you had.
And speaking of subscribers, over the course of this entire year, because we did technically, I think, start very late last year, but over the course of this year, we gained 46 subscribers, which has brought us to a grand total of a nice, even 50 subscribers. Woo! As of this video being recorded. Hopefully we might have more. Ends. Yeah, we might have more before the year ends. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's liked us enough. 50 people's a lot of people. Like, I don't think 50 people could fit in my dang house all at the same time. And so, yeah, thanks to all the people who gave us a subscribe and keep up with our content and actually like viewing us. I know a good chunk of you are people who like actually know us a little bit, not as like close friends, but like you know us personally and you watch our content. So thanks to all of you for that. We have a total of 315 watch hours that we put out this year. Again, spiked a lot between October and now, because we just started putting out like much more content within the last few months. So yeah, I mean, if any of you care to we have a plethora of watch hour content. You 315 hours worth.
Well,
Technically,
we have more than
315.9.
315 hours worth of content.
Yeah. According to YouTube, it says 315 hours.
That's how many hours people have watched our channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Which is also really good.
That is really good. Make the number go higher, though. I want to see the number go higher. Go watch more things. Apparently, specifically, the date of... Come on, work with me here. November 28th. What was that? Was that... No, that was the day before Thanksgiving.
That was one of the
that was
videos.
Okay. Yeah, that was the most watch hours we got in a single day. 22 watched hours of content that day. I don't know what we did.
It was one of the Ren Fair videos.
Which Ren Fair video it was? It was the what each class eats at Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was a good one.
And finally, this is a little thing for all of you who watch us but aren't subscribed to us. Did you know that 42.3% of our viewers aren't subscribed to the channel? Jordan, put up the graphic. Put up the graphic that we made just for this.
Wait, you made a graphic? I didn't know I was supposed to make a graphic.
Honestly, we could probably just like stitch out the box from YouTube and just like slap it on screen. But yeah,
wait, I'm ready. I got you. Ding. All right, there you
go. But yeah, no, like if you're not subscribed to us, but you're half of our viewer base, what are you doing, man?
We'll give you like $1.
Don't make that promise. We will be in debt.
I will make Nat $1, and you can have like a JPEG of a Nat $1 if you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Nods.
Good save.
Nat $1 nods. You can get your very own nod, everyone.
It's not an NFT. It's a normal JPEG. Everyone gets
in
one.
On this.
It's not an NFT. It's a nod.
Yeah.
Or a no dollar if you prefer.
We are hilarious. Just like that right there. That joke, that was a good joke. Get in here. Listen to us. We're funny, and maybe our amazing humor will rub off on you. Subscribe.
Well, see, they're listening to us. They're just not subscribed for some reason.
Exactly.
Why would you not subscribe?
Subscribe.
I'll play good cop. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. But if you don't, I will be homeless, and I will be cold, and I will not be able to eat, and I will probably haunt you, but not necessarily maliciously.
Poor college students / adults.
That one person from Kazakhstan who's watching our videos, I see you.
Mm-hmm. And also you out there, if your name is Kyle and you're watching us, you should comment more. We'd like to hear from you.
Hi, Kyle.
Okay.
And also, our second most viewed demographic outside of the United States, Canadians.
Thanks, Canada.
We see you. We appreciate
Northern
you.
Lion.
Northern Lion. We know you watch.
I remember this. I learned this from Northern Lion. Canadians love it when you talk about celebrities that are actually Canadian that most people don't know. Avril Lavigne.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
I actually didn't know that he was Canadian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Tobey Maguire might be.
I wouldn't know.
Eugene Levy? ? I think he's Canadian.
Don Cheadle.
Did you just look up a list of Canadian celebrities?
No, I just said Don Cheadle because I think his name is funny. I don't think he's from Canada.
I don't think he is either.
So now Canadian friends that watch us, show this part of the video to your friends, and presumably they'll subscribe immediately because you guys like that stuff.
Because we know Canadian celebrities.
Most of us have all of us been to Canada?
Yes.
All of us have been to Canada once.
Yeah.
We should probably stop this bit. This is not a good bit.
Yes, we should. You are correct.
We need to move on to the next set of analytics. Jordan, take it away for our not necessarily YouTube stuff right now.
Okay, so before taking it away to the not necessarily YouTube stuff, I'm going to talk a little bit about the actual production of this podcast because along with all of the stuff that YouTube automatically tracks, I personally track all of our analytics for all of our channels separately based on what the videos get for views and like ratio within the first 24 hours, and also our subscribers week to week. And because I'm a huge nerd and I love spreadsheets, so we have a gigantic spreadsheet that tracks the rate of growth of our channel, and I'm very proud of it because I can't do math, but I can do spreadsheets. So that has tracked the number of views that we get on each video after 24 hours of posting, and how much we've grown from week to week with our subscribers on both YouTube and TikTok. And we've had a significant amount of people join our TikTok this year, which was surprising, and it makes me very happy because I think we're very funny on TikTok. So we are currently sitting at 205 followers on TikTok, I think, which may not be a lot in the grand scheme, but I think it's pretty dang impressive considering that we started out as like at 0. We sat at like 5 for a good time because it was just like us and our parents that were following the account. Actually just me and our parents, because the other two don't have TikTok accounts of their own. I have one of my own. They just
my parents don't follow me either.
My parents follow us. But yeah, we've had some good growth on the TikTok, and I think we've honestly had some like pretty big highlights on the TikTok, because some of the skits that have been posted on there are pretty dang funny, if I do say so myself. Like us showing off the stuff in Levi's basement that we used to game, and also Turkey Strahd. That was a good highlight from the TikTok.
I love Turkey Strahd.
Turkey Strahd was great.
Turkey Trod.
Whoa.
So yes, if you like more short form content, a lot of the same stuff that we post on shorts is also on our TikTok. Go follow our TikTok. This is just a whole advertisement for getting our analytics up for the end of the year.
We actually do have more followers on TikTok than we do on YouTube. So if for some reason you're one of maybe that's what it is. Maybe a bunch of those people that aren't subscribed to us are people that are from TikTok. And so they don't think they need to subscribe because they can just watch us on TikTok. But you should subscribe, because something American Psycho reference.
Thanks.
That scene where he's talking about Huey Lewis in the news, and he's like, "But they should, because something statement about the band," and
Oh,
yeah.
Let's see Taryn's business card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy it. Again, I know TikTok numbers are like inflated compared to YouTube numbers. Not necessarily like bad inflated, but they just are all larger.
It's also it's hard to navigate both algorithms, but TikTok's changes so often that it's very difficult to get. And I have made it my personal mission to figure out exactly how the TikTok algorithm works, and I have not yet succeeded, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out.
And also, we have two very different content styles, because TikTok is much more, it's short form content on TikTok. And then over here, we do the podcast, which is long form. Listen to us talk for an hour when you're driving somewhere, or
I don't know what you mean. I made a full scripted series for TikTok.
True.
Okay. We have that over there too. If you're interested in our TikTok, go over there and find out what that is.
But despite the fact that the numbers on TikTok just always seem larger, like there's always more followers for like a small channel always has more followers on TikTok than they do as subscribers on YouTube. And the views on small videos always have way more views on TikTok than they do on YouTube. Despite that difference, if the 205, or I think now 206 followers we have on TikTok were in one room or one building, it'd still be pretty crazy.
People.
That's a lot of people. That's concert level. That's small concert level.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I like our TikTok. And I like our YouTube.
We did, guys. We did all of this year.
We did. We did honestly, everything.
If we grew at about the same rate this coming year that we did this year, I think I would be satisfied.
If we grew at the same rate, technically speaking, that would mean that we would have another 1,000% increase in subscribers on YouTube, which at that point would be, oh Lord, help me, what is that number? Math.
Get TJ the human calculator.
Hold on, I'll do it. It would be 500 subscribers.
Yeah. Yes? No, that would...
Something like that.
A 100% increase would be 50 more. So yes, 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yes, 500 subscribers, yeah.
Which I think is funny because I think at the beginning of the year, whenever we were talking about starting this, and we were talking about like, because we don't do the, even though we're sitting here talking about our subscribers, we don't actually do this for like internet fame. We just, it's fun and we like talking to each other and we're all friends.
That's true too. Yeah,
we did that meme, that joke of like, oh guys, we should start a podcast, and we did that for like several years before we actually started the podcast, and then we did start the podcast.
Yeah. And so we had a conversation at the beginning, like the very beginning, whenever we were talking about this, where we were just like, wouldn't it be funny if we got like 20 subscribers? Like it would be funny if like 20 people that we did not know watched our content, because that's a lot of people. And I think we did the same analogy of like, I mean, if you put 20 people in like Levi's basement, that would be a lot of people. Like that would be a room full of people. And so that's kind of like, for perspective, that's where we started with this being just like, we think we're funny, so we're going to post this online and we enjoy making this and we do it for the fun of it. It would be cool if like 10 people saw what we were doing. And so I think it's really amazing, to me at least, that we have any number of people that come back and watch this from week to week.
And now our average video gets about 20 to 40 views.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a good point. We're not really super number driven. We're not actually riding on this. I am just because
I'm obsessed with the spreadsheets, but not because of the actual numbers. I just like the formulas and watching the numbers do things.
Yes, we're not out here really, really fishing for views and subscribers and likes and all that. We like it if you do it, and we're gonna work to that end, but we're not like, you know, if we get a disliked video, or if we get a video that's like a little stinky and gets like 3 or 4 views, we're not going to be that upset. This is a fun little hobby thing, and if it takes off, that'd be cool and awesome and huge and epic. But if not, we're having fun, and we're hoping that those of you that do continue to watch us are also having fun. That's all this is about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Before we continue into sentimentality, I was also going to talk about Nat One Plays for a minute.
Yes.
So to add to our brand of Nat One, which again, this is all something we've done this year. We started a Twitch channel, the Nat One Plays Twitch channel, which Jordan made some amazing graphics of that you can see almost always used either on the stream or on the Twitter or on our YouTube video VOD videos. But yeah, we started a humble little Twitch channel. We started streaming Terraria at first, then we went to Darkest Dungeon. And then we started porting those VOD videos over onto our YouTube. And then Hades, which also crazy. Sorry, Game Awards was last night for us. A little peek behind the counter. And Game Awards, they announced Hades 2, and I'm kind of nerding out over here. I'm a little geek. But yeah, that led to some of our best YouTube growth prior to Shorts was the plays videos, especially early Hades. We were getting like 4 and 2 and 3 or like 6 subscribers every other week from Hades VODs or Darkest Dungeon VODs. The Twitch channel itself hasn't grown that much, but that's fine. Also, something I'm proud of. It took a long time, but we eventually got to a point where we now have a Nat One Plays schedule. Despite having a job and despite now getting a master's degree, I stream twice a week. I upload videos twice a week on our channel.
And we applaud all the work you do. All hail Pertuset.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm glad with this. It's cool and fun and epic, and I like it. If you want to check out more gaming content, which involves me or sometimes guests, check out our Twitch channel, Nat One Plays on Twitch.
Yep.
It's fun. We have fun over there sometimes.
And just go check out our videos on the YouTube channel. We've got gaming videos on the YouTube channel. Most recently our prop hunt. It's not prop hunt, it's prop and seek. It's the game Prop and Seek, very similar to Prop Hunt. They should both be out just about now. Go watch those. They're great. They're hilarious. Despicable Fart Crash. Need I say more?
Nat One Plays Together videos are really fun. I will not lie.
The inspired bit of content that was Berg.
Berg Gaming. Yeah, that's the Nat One Play segment.
Woo!
Now, let's get all nostalgic for however much time we have left, because I don't know when we started recording.
This can be a longer episode where it's a year in review.
It's
a special.
Yeah, it is a capstone video. It's the end of the year, so.
All right. Why don't one of you, well, probably Jordan, since this is mostly your child, Jordan, why don't you explain to the people at home how Nat One started as a general idea?
Oh, great
okay.
heavens.
So as we were saying earlier, we have said for years that like, oh, we're so funny, we should start blank. And it's been so many things. It's been, we should start a podcast, we should start a TV show, we should start like a D&D stream, like Critical Role for a while was the idea, where we would just stream us playing D&D. And so originally, the title of Nat One came from a sitcom that we were going to make. For a class project, I made a short that was titled Nat One, and it was about a bunch of friends that play D&D together, and there was some magic shenanigans going on. And so going off of that, we actually started writing, and we had a couple episodes written of a sitcom style thing. It was going to be shorter than 30 minutes. It was going to be closer to format like The Guild, if anybody's watched that. So we started writing this, and the main writers were me and Pertuset. We had a couple episodes written, but due to schedules, because we all go to school all across the state of Ohio, all of us that are in the gaming
Yes,
group.
some of us not in Ohio.
Some of us not in Ohio, because it's so we live all over. So just
we're
the logistics
all college
of
kids.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not college.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
I am again.
But I do leave.
We are all young adults. All of us are younger than 25.
all of us are younger, and at the time, all of us were in college. And so it was not feasible to shoot a full sitcom. And so we kind of put it on the shelf for a while, and we're like, well, if we ever get the opportunity to do this, it's there, and maybe we'll come back to it someday. And so then we started talking, and we were like, well, we still really want to do something together, because we already game together and we hang out together most of the time anyway, but we wanted to create something. We wanted to make something that was like, that all of us could participate in and have fun with. And so I don't even remember who brought up the idea of it becoming a podcast. And so we were like, well, I mean, we could try it out and see what happens. So Christmas break last year, we all went to, it was before we played D&D one night. I brought a microphone over, and we recorded the first 2 episodes just for fun. And we recorded, and we were like, well, I mean, we'll record these and post these and see what happens. And then we listened back to the first couple episodes, and we were like, wait, we're actually like really funny. Not in like a narcissist way, but like we're actually kind of funny. And so then we started recording, and we made a schedule, and I started making the spreadsheets, and I've developed like the definitive way of editing. Not definitive, it will probably continue to develop over time. But like slowly we just started to pick up on things of like, okay, we should probably have a regular posting schedule. Like, oh, making a TikTok would be a good idea. Like having a regular Twitter presence would be a good idea. And a lot of the stuff, I'm a huge nerd. Everybody knows I'm a huge film nerd. I have a degree in film. And so a lot of this was just from me, like kind of observing trends in media and being like, a lot of popular content creators have TikToks. We should make a TikTok and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that we do is just from me being like, I technically learned this in school, so we should do this and hope that it works. So yeah, that's how it became a podcast. We were originally supposed to be a sitcom, but I really like what we've turned out to be instead. And maybe someday we will still make the sitcom. Who knows? We still got some of the scripts, and we could probably rework that, assuming that we ever make enough money to like have a content house and all move in together and not do other jobs.
Give us money. Subscribe to our Patreon.
That's true. We do also have a Patreon set up. Forgot to cover that. Yeah, that was a one thing we didn't talk about real quick. Oh, yeah, true. First off, amazing start. The story of how Nat One started is very fun. Quick detract, and then we'll retract.
Oh yeah.
We had a fun little adventure as like a bunch of young adults. It was so ridiculous as like a bunch of like young 20-somethings, and we were all like, let's go to the bank so we can have a Nat One bank account.
That was so funny.
It was like 3 kids in a trench coat and R-rated tickets in a movie.
Well, should we tell the email address story? We won't reveal anybody's email addresses, but I think we need to tell the email address story.
Levi can talk about it, sure.
Okay, I have an email that I made when I was in like early middle school that it does not include my name. It includes the name of a very popular medium that I am a very
Piece of
big
media.
fan of. Yeah, piece of media that I am a very big fan of. The number sequence 123 at the end of it at gmail.com. And that is my official email that I have refused to change for like 10 years now. So when we went to the bank, I had to tell this like clerk. I was like, yeah, my email is blank 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 123 at gmail.com.
After the other two of us had said our very adult emails that actually had our names in them. Yeah,
that was just like their name with a number at the end at gmail.com. Me over here, like, essentially my email is the equivalent of, it's not this, but it's the equivalent of like Star Trek fan 123 at gmail.com. That's what it's the equivalent of, pretty much. And that is my official email for our Nat One shared bank account now. That's what's on there.
But no, the banking adventure was very funny because you're right. It felt like we were just kids in the bank. We're all full adults. Like, we fully within our rights to be there and try to open a bank account.
Yeah, it was like we went in there. We just wanted to open a bank account. None of us had like opened a joint bank account before.
No.
So it was like we didn't really know what to do. But we were just like asking questions. We were sitting down and meeting. But like it's a quiet, bank. People are just there getting their money, doing transactions and stuff. And then we were there and we had to wait for a while because they had to do a lot of paperwork. So in this pretty quiet bank, it was intermittently broken up with us just over there giggling like because we were just laughing at stupid stuff we were saying while we were waiting for the guy to get back with paperwork and stuff.
Who left their toddlers in the bank and let them go around?
That was us, because like we didn't know what to do. There was nothing else to do, but we didn't feel like a huge nuisance because they were also laughing.
I think he either thought we were funny or he took pity on us because we were really stupid.
Yeah. Shout out to our bank guy. He did help us out. He
was very nice and very understanding, but like we acted like idiots. Not like intent, like we weren't disruptive or anything, but like it was very obvious we did not know what we were doing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get him on the podcast, man.
Yeah.
Get our banker on the podcast.
Our official bank account manager.
We get 1,000 patrons. We'll go back to that bank and we'll be like, hey, is this guy still working here? And we'll get him on the podcast.
Please come be on the podcast.
We're not going to say if he still works here. We're going to say, what's his address?
Yeah.
Where does he live now?
We will locate him.
But anyway, so now we will detract. Back to the Nat One origin story. Yeah, I remember I liked the idea of the sitcom because I wanted to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
We've become the podcast and I like the podcast. I like what we've done.
Yeah.
It's especially, and this is going to seem less sentimental, but it seems like the sitcom might have involved a lot of hard work and could have netted us like worse results than the podcast has.
I might have died because I would have been the brunt of the work on that. Because at least with the podcast, like I do edit it and do a lot of the graphic stuff, but at least we can split a lot of the work evenly. Like Pertuset handles a lot of the Nat One Play stuff, most of the Nat One Play stuff. I handle the podcast. Levi does a lot of the social media. So like there's a pretty good division of work. If we had done the sitcom, oh Jesus Christ.
And then get 3 views per video. That's why I would have died. I would have been like, all right, well, that was a fun little adventure. We're done. But the podcast, however, we can make stinkers and I can be like, well, that's fine. That probably took like a total of like 1 hour of my life and maybe 2 of Jordan's.
Yeah, so... the podcast is we don't have to be putting on a visage where we're acting as a character. We can just be ourselves.
That too.
We are just literally our... What? No, we're just our real world persons, and we don't have to have that extra level of stress of like focusing on pretending to be a character and upholding that image while we're doing recordings and possibly doing multiple We never re-record podcast episodes. Everything you see is just the first go all the way through.
Edited, of course, by me heavily sometimes, but yes.
But yeah, so yeah, I think the podcast just is it's a little less limiting for us. It gives us the freedom to do more of what we want.
Yeah,
with the medium.
I did like that very first day that we went to do it. I remember it was Christmas break.
Yeah.
and I can't remember exactly what the circumstances were. I'm pretty sure you're right. It was like some day before, or it was like it was a day before we were doing D&D. We were just getting together, but like something happened. Like it was gonna be like Jordan, you and I were gonna be earlier than everyone else for some reason, and so I was like trying to figure out what we should do in our downtime, and then I just said to you, Jordan, I was like, you know what? Let's just do the podcast. Bring the mic. Let's do the
bring
podcast.
A microphone.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was, because I think you texted me and you were like, "Do you have your microphone home?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I brought it." And he was just like, "Bring your microphone."
Yeah, I was like, let's just do it, because there was like nothing else to do, and I was like, this will be fun.
We've been talking about it for a while.
Time. Yeah. So I remember that. I can't remember. There was a big adventure prior to even the sitcom's creation, or like during the sitcom's creation, when we came up with the name Nat One. But I can't remember. There were a lot of names on the cutting room floor.
There were. It was in a Discord call like really late one night, and I can't remember how we settled on Nat One, because you're right. There were a lot of D&D puns. Everything was some kind of game pun.
Yeah. And then it was like, quickly check that and see if it already exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which and this is a non-hostile, but I'm going to pretend it's hostile, so it's to be funny. But if anyone wants to take legal action, this isn't hostile. We've seen you other Nat One related show that shows up in Google searches, and we're coming for you. All right, you haven't posted anything in 4 years. We're the Nat One show now.
Yeah.
All right. Again, not hostile.
Joking.
Yeah, joking.
What's the tone indicators that people put on things? Like
yeah.
Joking.
Joking. /S. Oh. But anyway, yeah. So we somehow we became, let's call ourselves Nat One.
Yeah.
And then that's just what the show was, just Nat One. The podcast obviously came later, and we were just like, oh, we can be Nat One Podcast. That's cool.
Also, fun little sneaky thing. I'm pretty sure that I think I told you guys like right before we started filming that I was gonna say the AKA Nope thing.
Yeah, that.
Like we decided we were Nat One Podcast, we were filming and setting it up and stuff, and then I was like, also I'm gonna have a little intro, and it's gonna be AKA Nope, because Nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say or something like that. And then it stuck.
Yep.
I like Nope. I am also a fan of calling us No Podcast, No Plays.
That one's fun. I do like that you do that on Twitter occasionally.
No Podcast, no dollar. I like it.
We can also refute any statement ever.
Yeah, I'm also partially torn because there was a joke in Arrested Development where one of the characters thinks they're going to a method acting class called Method 1, but it's actually a methadone clinic. And it makes me want to say Natone all the time when I think about the Natone Podcast.
That's what they're labeled as on my hard drive, because like for a lot of file stuff, because you're not supposed to like put spaces in file names just because it's a naming convention. So like I capitalize the first, which I also don't think you're supposed to capitalize your file names, but I do anyway. But it says Natone, Natone Ep, and it's one word, Natone Ep.
Natone.
Natone Ep.
Natoneep.
It's a Pokemon. Natone Ep.
Ah, yeah. But yeah, that's the start of Nat One as you know it today.
Yeah.
People will be putting this down in Wikipedia articles for seconds to come.
Taryn, get on it.
May it live long and prosper.
And as a final piece for the year, for this presumably 5-hour video of today.
It better not be, please no.
Let's discuss some of our favorite moments over the year. Of a year of making content. What some of our favorite moments?
I'll go first.
Okay, I don't have
I
one.
was looking back through today because I was like, oh, we're gonna be going over some of our favorite moments today. So I need to pick like probably at least more than one. So I was looking back through and I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I really do think my two favorite moments from the show so far are from the very beginning and currently the end of the show in December. The last episode before this one.
The end of this season, not the end of the show.
The end of this season, yes, which happened last week. Go watch it if you haven't yet for context. And go watch the first episode if you haven't for context for what I'm about to say. But in the very first episode of our show, where back when we still talked about D&D like almost every other episode, now it's like every 4 episodes. Pertuset was talking about how he wanted to have relations with an anus hag, which is a type of hag from Dungeons and Dragons, and its name is just anus hag.
I don't think it's supposed to be pronounced that way, though.
But it's funny. It is.
I think
it's funny, but
I'm pretty sure on D&D Beyond, like the pronunciation thing is anus hag.
Which is
spelled differently.
Because Dylan introduced us to this creature. And we were all like, and this was before the podcast existed, he introduced us to this creature, and we were all like, that's not what it's called. There's no way. It has to be pronounced like anus. And then we went and looked at it, and it was anus, even though it's not spelled that way. It's spelled like ANNIS.
That's right, yeah.
To be fair, some people still call wyverns wyverns, though.
That's true. But at the same time, it was funny, and it was that was a pretty good moment this year too. Was the Breon moment. But yeah, it was. I think it was like it was a tone setter for our humor at the very opening episode.
It very quickly established what we're about.
Yes, and it was very funny. It was probably the funniest moment of that first episode was the anus hag.
That first unedited episode that I just slapped an intro on.
Yes. And then the most recent episode, which was just chock full of bangers in my opinion.
Oh, great.
Was the Pertusetmas episode where we explained to the audience the holiday of Pertusetmas.
The true meaning of Pertusetmas.
Yes, and I think my favorite moment from that entire episode has to be the telling of the little match girl story, the Pertusetmas rendition.
You're welcome.
Especially the part where she gets hit with a rock in the head. That's my favorite part of that entire story.
I do my best writing at 4 a.m, if you couldn't tell.
If you can't tell, I like really abrupt and brutal humor. It's really funny to me when something is just off the wall unexpectedly, like right in your face. Like Pertuset being like, I want to have coitus with the hag. Or Jordan saying, and the little girl gets hit in the head with a rock and dies. Sure, that's very tragic, but at the same time, because it's so tragic and just immediately being thrown at me, it's very funny to me. So those are my bookend, front and beginning, and final at the end of this season. Favorite moments of the year for our podcast. Yeah.
All right. Good nominees. Anus Hag's a classic. How could you forget?
Love it.
How could never forget?
Jordan, what do you got?
Okay, I have a full favorite episode because I could not pick a moment from this episode. The entire Cover Mechanics April Fool's Day episode is my favorite thing that we've ever made, barring potentially Pertusetmas, because Pertusetmas was also pretty funny, but Cover Mechanics was just so unhinged that it is my favorite episode that we have ever recorded.
The stupor that it put all of us in after finishing the recording.
Again,
we were like, bah,
none of us were coherent.
Again, to this day, I gegenuinely forget that it exists because I think a part of my head doesn't want to remember that I recorded it.
I think a part of my brain died.
Yeah, it has been pushed into that part of my head that's like I'm repressing that memory. Simply because it took so much out of me to record that episode.
Stupid.
I think it might be one of the longest recorded events of a yes and in history. Like we should check with the Guinness Book of World Records.
Do we have a record? Yeah.
We might. That's how long is that episode? Like an hour?
It's close to an hour.
Yeah. Very good episode though, yeah.
That's one of my favorites. And I can't even point to like a specific bit just because the entire thing was so like from the beginning, because we should probably talk about the creation of that episode for a minute, because I don't think we've ever actually talked about it, because we pre-record, So we record these up to like a month in advance when we were first starting out. Now we've gotten a little bit like we record closer to the date, but before we were recording these like way, way in advance. And so we had talked pretty close to the beginning of the creation of the show of like, we need to do holiday specials and we need to figure out what we're doing for April Fool's Day. Because I feel like April Fool's Day is going to be a very important holiday for this podcast.
Yes, because we're a bunch of goofy goobers.
Well, and I think improv is what we do, but because like we do a lot of like role play heavy sessions when we play D&D. We're very much a group that like if we have a session where we don't roll any dice, people are usually pretty happy if we're just like talking the entire time. And so we were talking about it and we were like, what can we do? And also we want to make this seem like it's going to be a completely serious episode from the jump, and then it will just evolve into absolute chaos. And I think we accomplished that goal pretty well.
My parents have actually told me, because I think we've alluded to this before several times on the podcast, but all of us went to high school together, and I think all of us, well, for the most part, the majority of our group took part in theater when we were in high school. And my parents have actually mentioned to me before in conversation, they've said they think that this is our way of expressing that drive and desire, is continuing to do things like TTRPGs where we can act and get that out. And I see it, definitely.
It makes sense.
We, not to toot our own horn or anything, but we're all pretty decent, if not good, I would say, at improvisation. And so that's why we were like, let's just see how long we can go for an April Fool's episode and be like, yes, everything you just said is real and correct, and I'm going to add to it now.
Who dares
make
wins.
it even worse. I honestly think probably the greatest part of that episode, simply because whenever we make a joke, I know it's good if we continue to use it far into the future, is the character of Gary Girlgax. Because to this day, we will still mention, like, we won't do it as like a big joke and then everyone laughs, but we'll say, like, we'll mention, like, we'll just be like, oh, Girlgax, in passing, and then everyone will like chuckle at it.
Gatekeep Girl Boss Girlgax is a big...
I love that one.
So yeah, those are like some of the really good jokes that still to this day we mention outside of the podcast in our circle that have stuck with our group. Yeah.
Also, who could forget? Wait! March 31st is an actual day.
That might go down as one of our best cold opens, just because that we hadn't even started the goof yet.
That was real.
Okay, so before we started recording, like moments before, and here's the thing, I have the memory of like a snail. I'm awful at remembering anything, really. And yet, I remember this vividly. It was moments before we started recording that episode, and we were like, okay, so we know we're not gonna laugh. Like, we're gonna try to not laugh at all.
We were trying to play it serious.
Yeah, both of them were like, yeah, okay. And I was like, okay, guys, I'm serious. Don't laugh, all right? Try not to laugh as best you can. And they're like, yeah, we're not gonna laugh. And then we hit the record button, and I was looking at my calendar because we were going to do a cold open. That was like, oh yeah, today on March 31st, because we were going to make a joke that it wasn't April 1st. And then I looked at my calendar, and I was like, we hit the record button, and then it just starts with me going, wait, March 31st is an actual day. And these two immediately start laughing. And I was like, that's not even a joke.
Because
we were convinced that it wasn't a real day.
We were under the impression that it would be even funnier because March 31st wasn't a real day. So Pertuset would be like, yes, it is March 31st. And then anyone who was like smart enough to look at their calendar would be like, oh, that's not a real day. But it was.
We're very smart.
And it was a genuine blunder on all of our parts because none of us realized the error until we were rolling.
2 out of the 3 people in this podcast have college degrees, and the other one is about to have a college degree.
And so we all guys.
Did that.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. I have like a collection. I have our playlist of our videos pulled up, and I'm just remembering some things from each one.
Oh yeah.
First off, the Love is in the Air episode, our Valentine's episode, where we invented the term Blarick. I love Blarick.
We love Blarick.
Still around. Tasha is a pick-me / the weather episode. That was a really fun episode. I remember that one.
Wild episode.
Peel back behind the curtain for this one. We were like, what are we going to talk about in 8 episodes? We've already talked about everything there's possible to talk about in the last 7. What can we talk about? And I just said, I don't know, let's talk about the weather, which devolved into like a crazy, stupid episode, and I loved it. The gang tries to sound smart. I love that episode. That's where I started simping for Phineas Gage, if I remember right.
The beginning of a legendary meme. The Phineas Gage
beginning
is a baddie.
of a whirlwind romance.
Of course, cover mechanics right there. How to play the Easter Bunny in D&D and more, including a Santa Claus build where he's an artificer.
Yeah. Go watch that if for a Christmas-themed one-shot you want to play a Santa artificer. We've got all the deeds.
It was Medea in the room with the mask where we talk about our favorite like comedy stuff. And I believe that was the episode where we started talking about like, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a movie where Keanu Reeves and Nicolas Cage and Jack Black and like all these other prolific and Joaquin Phoenix and all these other crazy actors and Jim Carrey, they were all together and they had to fight somebody. I love that bit. That was a great bit. D&D memes that are actually funny where we met my favorite person ever, Goggalore.
Yes, Goggalore.
Love Goggalore. Don't care very much for Princess, but Goggalore's Pogalore.
We should check in on that. We should see if that saga has continued.
Yeah, we should. The time where we bothered a fantasy author, that was fun.
Yep.
I remember that. He seemed disappointed in us. No.
He's usually no, he's not disappointed in us. He loves us very much.
Then we start getting more recent, but the Denny's parking lot battle royale where we decided to just make different things fight each other. That's fun, and that started a trend that's going to keep going.
Oh, we're going to make more things fight. Yeah, coming up next year.
Intelligence checks subclasses, which wasn't our first intelligence checks, but it's the one that popped off. That one was very fun.
And pretty insightful into our actual knowledge of D&D. Every once in a while, we give glimpses of actually how much we know about the game.
We meme about it, but we actually do play this game quite a lot, and we do know what we're talking about.
Once a week. Yeah.
we like to make the internet think we're stupid.
Wait, I was wrong. Goggalore was in episode 35, TTRPG Reddit Horror Stories.
Then what was the other one?
That was D&D memes that are actually funny.
That was when we talked about personal memes that we found, and also like just D&D memes in the community.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna correct you, but you found it on your own. So
yeah. Episode 37, Monster Mash, where I said that. What was the monster I said that just sounds like a name?
Oh my god! Yes, and then we were both like, "That's not a name.
It sounds like a name. That is an author's name."
Also, Grit Grimes was introduced.
Grit Grimes. Oh, and then we get into October, where we do all of our fun Halloween content, which was fun. Oh.
Clue was great. Clue was another just like hour of yes-anding that was fantastic, but far more restrained than cover mechanics.
Yes-anding on a very loose script.
Well, and on a larger scale too, because we had everyone for that video.
Yes. That was a coordination feat for our group.
That was a coordination feat for Pertuset, because Pertuset's the one that planned the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
I'm current DM. I do that.
That's how it
my
works
job.
in our group. Whoever the main DM is the person who's in charge of planning everything. It used to be me. Now it's Pertuset's job.
And then we're getting into our newest stuff. 1D&D opinions. Not very funny video, but truing. Where's the lie?
Truing video, yeah. We're probably going to make more content about that later as the 1D&D beta continues.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Our soda showdown where we met Bark Mug Dog Root Beard,
the greatest protagonist,
which I think is now the Nat One Podcast mascot.
Yes,
like that's.
Can we get fan art commissioned of that character, that entity?
Yes, I think we should. Please.
We're gonna go to an artist and be like, "Okay, here's what I need you to draw."
Because I'm not. I draw the line. All right, I might later when I'm like really tired and hopped up on something, probably cold medicine because I get sick so often. That's.
Oh, yeah. And then we're in our newest stuff. Christmas time. Great old one, Charlie Brown. That's a great episode. Our ranking of the ancestries.
Yep.
Or species. And then Christmas season. And Pertuset is very funny. Hallmark game very funny. In between, it's not that funny. No, I'm kidding. D&D holidays also very fun. And yeah, that's my. I kind of just went down the list, so everything's my favorite. But no, but there are favorite bits from every single one where I'm like that. I remember that moment in that episode. Like I said, I have a horrible memory, so like I will not remember recording this entire episode when we're done here, but I'll remember the one funny bit from each episode pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Nat One Podcast in the year of 2022.
We made it our whole first year.
Jordan, what's your favorite moment ever of all time of Nat One Podcast?
Of all time? Because like Cover Mechanic
Top
holds
moment.
it pretty high.
Okay.
Gosh.
We all have to pick one specific one right now before we end.
So I'm not allowed to have a whole episode?
This
No.
is like if you could,
I guess.
if you had to pick one specific event, if you had to, absolutely.
Mine might be from I think mine's from Garfield, Gacy, and NFTs. The second episode where Bridges is like, who could come back and could come back with NFTs? Garfield, and it's completely disjointed from the rest of the episode because it had nothing to do with anything else. I think that's Anus Hag also set the tone for the rest of the show, but I think that is what really like established like, oh yeah, no, this is they're a little bit crazy.
I don't remember which episode number it is, but our movie episode, this one's a little bit biasy because it's my own thing that I made in the episode, but I really enjoyed coming up with Driving Into My Friends.
That was a really good episode.
We literally referenced it last night. I forget why, but we did.
It was something we were talking about with Taryn, and we were doing some kind of like yes Andy thing that the three of us were just talking about, and then Pertuset was like, and that's Driving Into My Friends.
Yeah.
Did we ever tweet the poster for that? Because there's a poster for it.
I think so. I can't remember.
I don't remember if we did or not.
Viewers at home, let us know. We can't remember. Point on our screen where the poster is.
I'm just gonna look at our Twitter.
Oh, dang it. I tried to bait him. Yeah, I love Driving Into My Friends as well. I forgot about that one. That one was good.
That was a really good
I
one.
love that one. Which we're going to do that again soon. We actually... Am I stupid? Have we not done a makeup story about random things since then?
No, that was the only one. Other than technically you guys took a lot of creative liberties with the Hallmark game.
Yes.
Huh? No, we haven't. We need to do a video game one soon.
That would be fun. I also think my favorite, but I don't know if it's from the podcast or just in our daily life, but I think we said it on the podcast, the doing blank and blank takes a screenshot.
Yeah, that's a good meme.
That's giving that's finding myself funny though, because it's just so dumb. I love it.
It is a good one. My favorite thing is like finding something that one person says a bunch and then eventually I say it myself one time and it becomes very funny.
It's very funny.
I adopt it myself and I wait for the right time to say it once and then I say it like 50 million times afterwards.
Yes, hot cheese.
Like our latest, hot cheese. Our latest meme, or one of our latest memes from our stream. That's X in your lungs.
In your lungs.
Oh man. Yeah. Are we good, guys?
Nat One in review.
Yes. Thank you to everyone who has supported us through this year. I said at the beginning, but thank you to everyone who has subscribed or liked a video, anyone who's ever watched a video. We very much appreciate your attention and our continuing endeavor on the internet.
And we hope to continue to receive it.
Yes.
In the year 2023.
Yes, and forward. But with that, I think we're all going to have to see you in good old 2023.
Thank you, Mothman.
Thank you, Mothman.
Thanks. What's something that's like moth adjacent?
No, Mothman is our patron.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we're,
that's the
so
name
we're
of the
supported by
that's right.
Mothman.
I
Mothman.
won't say
thanking.
the
I
name
thought
of
you
the
were just thanking
actual.
the cryptid.
That
Yeah,
too.
no.
Thank you, actual Mothman. But no, I won't say because I don't know that they want their name actually revealed on the internet. But thank
Yes.
you, Mothman. I love you.
Thank you to our patron Mothman, and also thank you Bigfoot. Not just the cryptid. I just wanted to thank Bigfoot.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Nat One. Haha. We rolled a Nat One.
Stinky.
Nope. Don't.
Ooh.
AKA
Ha, ha,
nope.
ha, ha, ha.
Nope. Because you're
Funny-
not going to want to
funny
hear.
poopy.
Stop saying things! You're not going to want to hear what we're going to have to say in the next year, 2023. Continue to not watch.
No, continue to watch, please.
Oh.
Will be underwear time.
Why? What is
No.
wrong with you?
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!